today we're going to be looking at, Playboi Carti, right?
Yeah.
Dropped music.
Yeah.
Huge release. Obviously, everybody's been talking about it.
Right.
But, one thing that really stood out to me beyond the music itself was how much drama seems to be swirling around this thing. Like all these relationships, all these,
Beefs, allegiances shifting.
Yeah, exactly. Like it feels like more than just, a typical album release. It's like there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on kind of behind the scenes.
Right. It's almost like the album itself has become this catalyst for all these things to come to a head.
Yeah. Like a lot of stuff that was maybe bubbling under the surface is suddenly, very out in the open.
Right.
So I think it'd be interesting to kind of dig into that a bit. What do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a fascinating look into, I think, the way the industry works.
Right.
And the way these artists interact with each other.
Yeah. Like it's not just about the music, right? It's about all the, the relationships and the power dynamics and all that.
Yeah, and then all the baggage they bring with them.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. So, okay, let's jump into it. One of the things that really jumped out at me was, it seems like Carti's got this ongoing thing with a guy named Benji Bluebills.
Right.
Like this is a beef that goes way back, right?
Yeah, this is like some deep Atlanta street stuff.
Okay, so fill me in here. Like what's the background? Who are these guys?
So Carti's affiliated with a crew called Homicide.
Right.
And Benji is reportedly connected to the Front Street Henchmen.
Okay.
And there's a long history of tension between these two groups.
So this is like a real life street beef that kind of spills over into the music.
Exactly. And you can even see hints of it in Carti's earlier work.
Oh, really?
Like on the track Stop Breathing, a lot of people think he's referencing an incident involving a rapper named Oler.
Right.
Who was close to Benji.
Okay, so this is not just some, like a manufactured beef for publicity or something. This is like a real thing that's been going on for a while.
Right. This is something they both seem to take very seriously.
Yeah. Okay, so fast forward to late 2023, I guess.
Right.
Carti drops this track, Different Day.
Yep.
And it ends up on the deluxe version of music later, but it comes out way before the album.
Yeah.
And on that track, he's like straight up saying he's looking for Benji on Mean Street.
Right.
Which, sounds like a pretty direct threat.
It's hard to interpret it any other way, really.
Yeah. So what was Benji's response to that?
Well, initially it seemed like he was kind of brushing it off.
Really?
Yeah, like there were some leaked DMs where he's basically saying that Carti's all talk.
Huh. Okay, but then he dropped his own diss track, right?
Yeah, he couldn't let that slide completely.
Right.
So he comes back with I'm Right Here, which is pretty much a direct response to Different Day.
Okay, and what's he saying on that?
Well, he's addressing the looking for Benji line directly, basically saying, here I am, what are you going to do about it?
Okay.
But then he also goes in on Carti, personally. Making fun of his vampire cosplay thing.
Oh, right.
And even bringing up Iggy Azalea, Carti's ex, and her OnlyFans.
Whoa. Okay, so he's going for the jugular there.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to get under Carti's skin.
Mm-hmm. So how did Carti respond to that?
We got another track that seems to be at least partially aimed at Benji.
Yeah.
This one's called Hood by Air.
Okay.
And some of the lines there sound like they're about him making fun of Carti's police body cam footage.
Right. I remember that whole thing.
Yeah, not a good look for Carti.
No. But it seems like on that track, he's actually going after more than just Benji, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about a guy named Oda Runt, who apparently was dissing Carti and his deceased friends.
Okay, so he's got beef with multiple people at this point.
It seems that way. Like he's got a lot of anger to get out.
Yeah. But what's really interesting about Hood by Air is that one of the lines that people thought was a Benji diss actually got removed when the album dropped.
Right. That all you ever do is copy line.
Yeah.
That disappeared from the official version.
So what do you make of that? Like, why do you think he took it out?
There's a lot of speculation about that. Some people think maybe he realized it was too personal.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was aimed at someone else entirely.
Right.
Like some people think it was a little Uzi Vert diss or even a Lucky diss that got scrapped at the last minute.
Oh, wow. So there's like layers to this, right?
It's hard to know for sure what his intentions were.
Yeah. Okay, so then things kind of go quiet for a bit, right?
Well, not completely.
Okay.
In March 2025, Carti drops this track, Charge Them Hoes a Fee, with Future and Travis Scott.
Right.
And in it, he's got this line about looking for a henchman.
Yeah.
Which is very clearly a callback to that Benji line from Different Day.
So he's intentionally poking the bear again?
It seems that way.
Yeah.
Like he's making sure that beef doesn't die down.
Yeah. And Benji definitely noticed, right? He posted a video reacting to it.
Yeah, he was not happy about it.
No. But then this whole thing took a really weird turn with Rolling Loud California.
Oh, yeah. That was wild.
So both Carti and Benji were supposed to perform at the festival, right?
Right.
Which, you know, everybody was like, oh man, this is going to be crazy. Like, something going to go down.
Yeah, everybody was expecting some kind of confrontation.
Right. But then what happened?
Well, according to Rage, who's a rapper who's worked with Benji, Carti allegedly went to the LAPD and basically got Benji kicked off the festival.
Whoa, seriously?
Yeah, Rage was on stream talking about how Carti snitched.
Okay, hold on. Snitched is a pretty strong word.
Yeah, but that's how it's being perceived, right?
Like, Carti went behind Benji's back and used the cops to avoid a confrontation.
Exactly. And Rage even said he talked to Black Boy Max about it.
Okay.
And that Benji was furious. Like, he felt betrayed.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Like, you're going to diss me publicly, but then you're going to hide behind the police.
Right, right. And then to make things even more complicated, you've got Opium Baby, who's Carti's friend.
Yeah.
He jumps in on Twitter and starts going after both Benji and Rage.
Yeah, he was tweeting all kinds of threats.
Like, what kind of threats?
Like saying he's going to pull up on them, stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
And he was making fun of Rage's plastic surgery, too.
Okay, so it's getting very personal.
Yeah. The whole mess.
Yeah, so it seems like, you know, with this Benji thing, it's all very public, right?
Very much so.
But then you look at what's going on with Drake, and it's a lot more subtle.
Right. It's a lot more subliminal.
Yeah, like everybody knew Kendrick was going to be on music.
Right.
And because of the whole Kendrick-Drake beef, there was already speculation that there might be some shots fired.
Right. Like, is Kendrick going to use this as an opportunity to take aim at Drake?
Yeah. And then Good Credit drops.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, okay, here we go.
Kendrick's not holding back.
So break it down for me. What are some of the lines that people are pointing to?
Well, there's that one. Kids are my body.
Yeah.
Some people think that's about Kendrick's tattoos,
Right.
but others think it's a response to Drake bringing up Kendrick's children in the past,
Oh, wow.
which would be a pretty pointed jab.
Yeah.
What else? There's the line about Payte is flooded, but way over budget, I lose on tour.
Yeah.
That seems to be referencing those rumors about Drake's tour not doing so well financially.
Right, like that he's having to give away tickets and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, and there was another one, right? About the numbers and the money.
Yeah. The number is nothing. The money is nothing.
Hmm.
I really bend him, I promise.
Yeah.
That feels like a direct response to Drake's whole thing about being the top dog.
Yeah.
Always focused on the metrics.
Yeah, yeah. Like Kendrick's saying, it's not about that for him.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then there's that line about conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy theories is given, but I must admit it, you got the wrong person.
Right.
That seems to be about Drake's lawsuit against UMG, where he's accusing them of inflating his streaming number.
Right, right. So it's like Kendrick saying, I'm not involved in any of that.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's pretty clear that Kendrick's taking shots at Drake, right?
Yeah. I think it's pretty hard to deny that.
But what's interesting is that Carti himself seems to be subtly siding with Kendrick in all this.
Right. It's not as direct as Kendrick's lyrics,
Yeah.
but it's definitely there.
Okay, so give me some examples. What's he doing that makes you say that?
Well, there's that line on Crank, I'm richer than all my ops.
Yeah.
And some people have pointed out that Drake's Instagram handle is Plot Twist.
Right, so like he's technically Carti's off, right?
Exactly.
Oh.
And even though Carti's statement might not actually be true, like in terms of net worth,
Right.
the fact that he's saying it at all is suggestive.
Yeah. And then there was that whole thing with the Instagram post, right?
Oh yeah. After music dropped, Carti posted a screenshot of the Apple Music charts.
Right.
But he blacked out Drake's song Nokia
Yeah.
while leaving Kendrick's music visible.
So that feels very intentional, right? Like he's making a statement.
Yeah, it's hard to see it as anything else.
Okay, so it seems like this Carti Drake thing has been brewing for a while.
Yeah, it's not just about this album.
Like what else has happened that makes you say that?
Well, remember back in the summer of 2024 when Drake released No Face?
Right.
That was supposed to have a Carti feature,
Yeah.
but Carti's verse never made it onto streaming.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was kind of strange.
Yeah.
And then you had Jay Hitter, who's close to both Carti and Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
He tweeted something that implied Carti was always on Kendrick's side.
Right.
And he even referenced some lyrics from Carti's older track, Wake Up. Like this.
So it's like there's a history there, right? Like Carti's been aligned with Kendrick for a while.
It seems that way.
Yeah.
And then there was that whole rumor from academics about Kendrick executively producing music
Yeah.
and blocking a Drake feature.
Which turned out to be false.
Right. But the fact that it even gained traction shows that people were already sensing this tension.
Yeah. And let's not forget about Pain, 1993.
Right.
That was another Drake track that Carti was supposed to be on.
Yeah.
But reportedly, Carti wasn't really feeling it.
Yeah. There were even some leaked texts from Ian Connor, who's close to Carti.
Right.
Basically saying that Carti wasn't interested in working with Drake.
So it seems like even though Drake has tried to collaborate with Carti in the past, Carti's not really reciprocating.
Yeah, he seems to be distancing himself.
Yeah. Okay, so we've talked about Benji, we've talked about Drake. There's another situation that's kind of bubbling up around A$AP Rocky, right?
Yeah. And this one's a little bit more sensitive because it touches on the whole snitching thing.
Oh, right, yeah. So what's going on there?
So A$AP Rocky's got this legal case going on.
Right.
Where Terrell Efron, also known as A$AP Relly, is accusing him of assault.
Okay.
And in hip-hop, snitching is obviously a huge no-no.
Yeah. So what does this have to do with Carti?
Well, Kendrick has a line on Backdoor that seems to be about A$AP Relly.
Really? What's the line?
It's Emerald Cup for hers, and his that on point, like A$AP Ray. And the way he pronounces Ray is very close to how you'd say Relly.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think he's making fun of Relly for cooperating with the authorities.
Yeah, that makes sense. And Carti also kind of chimed in on this, right?
Yeah, he reposted that photo of A$AP Relly making gun fingers in court.
Right. I remember that. It was all over the internet.
Yeah. And for Carti to repost that, it's pretty clear that he's not on Relly's side.
Yeah. Like he's basically trolling him. Right.
Exactly.
But you know, it's interesting. Some people have pointed out that Kendrick's line could also be interpreted as a subtle jab at Drake.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Because of his lawsuit against UMG.
Right. Like, he's also accusing them of doing shady business.
Exactly. So it's like Kendrick's maybe taking shots at both of them at the same time.
Yeah. It's definitely a multi-layered line.
Okay, so we've got all these different situations going on, but the one that really stands out to me is the whole Carti thing.
Oh, yeah. That's a whole other level of drama.
Like, these guys were so close.
They were practically inseparable for a while.
Yeah, like they were constantly collaborating, showing up at each other's events.
Right. He was a huge supporter of Carti's.
Yeah, he was always praising him, calling him a genius.
Yeah, and he even helped Carti get his first #1 song with Carnival.
Right. So it was a very close and productive relationship.
Yeah. They seemed to really understand each other creatively.
Right. So when music was announced, everybody was expecting Ye to be all over it, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But then the album drops and...
Crickets.
Well, not crickets, but like, he's barely on it.
Yeah, he only had a production credit on Backdoor.
Right.
And even that got removed later.
Yeah. So what happened? Like, why was Ye basically excluded from the album?
Well, nobody knows for sure, right?
Right.
But there's a lot of speculation.
Okay.
Some people think maybe Ye's credit on Backdoor was a mistake.
Okay.
Like maybe he didn't actually produce the final version of the song. Or maybe Carti's label was worried about all the controversy surrounding Ye.
Right. I mean, he's been saying a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah. So maybe they thought it was best to distance themselves from him.
Yeah, that makes sense. But Ye was not happy about this, right?
Not at all.
Like, he went on a whole Twitter rant about it.
Yeah, he was furious.
Okay, so what was he saying?
Well, first of all, he said he didn't like Kendrick Lamar's music.
Okay.
And that he didn't want to hear it on Carti's album.
Oh, wow.
Then he started making some pretty serious accusations.
Like what?
He claimed that Jewish business forced Carti to leave him off the album.
Okay, so that's a pretty serious and unfounded claim.
Yeah. It's not the first time he's said stuff like that.
Right. And then he started talking about this joint project they're supposed to be working on.
It's hard to you.
All right.
He even shared what looked like a vinyl cover for it.
Wow.
And then he brought up that evil twin line from Kendrick's verse on Good Credit.
Oh, right.
Which seemed to really set him off.
Yeah, it's like all this stuff was just building up.
Yeah, it's like he felt like everybody was turning against him.
Right. And then things got even weirder when Kim Kardashian got involved.
Oh, yeah, that was strange.
So Kim reposted a Carti song that mentioned her brand Skims.
Right.
And then Carti reposted it and called North, Kim and Ye's daughter, his niece.
Yeah.
And suggested she send him some music.
Which, seems like a harmless interaction.
Yeah.
But Ye completely lost it.
Yeah, he went on a whole other Twitter rampage about that.
Yeah, he said North wasn't going to work with Carti.
Right.
And he was criticizing the Skims brand.
Oh, wow.
And he even posted that cryptic tweet with pictures of himself, Virgil Abloh, and Carti.
Right. Who will be the third one.
Yeah. Which a lot of people interpreted as him feeling betrayed by Carti.
Yeah, like he's the next one to turn on him.
Exactly. And then he dragged Iggy Azalea into it, too.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he tweeted at her about getting vocals from her son Onyx.
Oh, wow.
And referencing some past business dealings they had.
So it's like he's bringing in all these different people from their past.
Yeah, he's just airing all his dirty laundry.
Yeah, and Iggy was like, hey, leave my son out of this.
Yeah, she shut that down real quick.
Rightfully so.
And then to make things even more messy, we found out that Ye was originally supposed to be on a track called Fiend.
Oh, right, which leaked as League.
Yeah, so it's like he was actually more involved in the album than we initially thought.
Right, but for whatever reason, his verse got scrapped.
And that seems to be a major point of contention for him.
Yeah, and then his attacks on Carti got even more personal.
Yeah, he started calling him names.
Like what?
Like Essler, which is a reference to Ian Connor.
Right.
And basic dumb version of Virgil.
Oh, wow.
And he kept accusing Carti of being influenced by white people and Jews.
Okay, so this is getting really ugly.
Yeah, he was basically threatening to destroy Carti's career.
And what did Carti say to all this?
He just tweeted, "Yay, SDFU."
Which basically means shut the fuck up, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
So not exactly a mature response.
No.
But I guess it's understandable given what Ye was saying.
Yeah.
And then Ye doubled down on everything in a video.
Yeah, he was ranting about how he put Carti on stupid
Oh, wow.
and how Carti was making bad decisions.
So it's like a complete breakdown of their relationship.
Yeah, it's pretty sad to see, actually.
Yeah. But Carti did get in one last subtle dig, right?
Oh, yeah. He posted a picture of Adidas sneakers,
Right.
which is obviously a reference to Ye's whole Adidas controversy.
Yeah. So he's not backing down either.
Nope.
And then Ye retweeted Carti's arrest video.
Yeah, and he announced that he was going to redo the song Melrose from his album Bully,
Right.
which originally featured Carti.
So he's basically erasing Carti from his music.
Yeah, it's a pretty definitive ending to their collaboration.
So yeah, like you said, it's a whole other level of drama.
It's crazy how quickly things went south.
Yeah. Okay, so let's zoom out a bit and look at the big picture here.
Okay.
It seems like Carti's involved in a lot of conflict right now.
Yeah, he's picking fights left and right.
Yeah, like publicly dissing people, getting into Twitter wars.
Right. It's not a good look.
No. And his allegiances seem to be shifting.
Yeah, he's definitely aligning himself with Kendrick.
Right.
And distancing himself from Drake.
Yeah. And then there's this whole Ye situation, which is just a complete mess.
Yeah, it's a shame to see that relationship fall apart.
So what do you think all this means for Carti? Like, what's the takeaway here?
Well, I think it shows that he's not afraid of confrontation.
Yeah.
He's willing to stand up for himself and his friends.
Right.
But it also shows that he can be impulsive and maybe a little bit reckless.
Yeah. Like maybe he's not thinking about the long-term consequences of his actions.
Right. And I think it also says something about the state of the industry.
Like how?
It's so competitive
Yeah.
and there's so much pressure to be on top
Yeah.
that it can lead to these kinds of conflicts.
Yeah. Like it's not just about the music anymore, right?
Right. It's about power and influence and all that.
Yeah. So I guess the question is, where does Carti go from here?
Right. Like, can he repair some of these relationships?
Yeah. Or is he just going to keep burning bridges?
It's hard to say,
Yeah.
but I think it's something worth watching.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, that's our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
And make sure to check back next time for more insights and analysis.
Yeah.
All right. Peace.